The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
All right. It's Friday. It's a Friday. We're on Friday. Look at that.
We fooled you.
We fooled you. Fooled you. Welcome to the Friday edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. My name is Ryan McCarthy. I'm one of the hosts. And to my right is a man who, unlike Justin Tucker, doesn't have a happy ending.
No.
Justin Henry.
No, unfortunately, I got a stomach virus that's been going around, so I'm recovering from that. And Ryan still has the plans for Saturday morning, which precluded us from doing our show at the normal time. But unfortunately, I do not, because I don't want to get anybody else sick if I can avoid it. So here I am, but I still get to podcast with you. I'm ready to go. These are the shows that are the unhinged ones because we don't have football to fall back on. I mean, what are we going to start covering the Super Bowl 2 weeks out? No, we're not the conventional media. We can do whatever we want, and we're happy that you have decided to join us. I am on one today. I'm thrilled. We have a special guest. We haven't announced him yet. But Ryan, how are you today, sir?
Yeah, I'm pretty good. It's the end of the week. It's been a rough. I wouldn't say rough week, but it's been a week. Let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm happy that January 98th has come around, and it's finally over. It's January's over as of tomorrow. So the longest month of the year, well, what it feels like the longest month of the year, is finally over. We'll go to the shortest month of the year. I'm happy about that because we are that close to baseball season starting, my friend.
Oh, yeah. It's going to go by in the blink of an eye. I've already activated our fantasy football league from many, many years now. So people, if you're listening to this or watching this, because I know some of you do, select your keepers.
Get your keepers, folks. Get them now. All right. Before we introduce our guests and before we start the show, just want to take care of some business on the business side. We just want to remind you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. Give us a follow, give us a like, all that stuff, and also check out our stuff on bellyupsports.com as well. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you podcast, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, and Pandora. And don't forget to hit that notification bell on Twitter. I still refuse to call it X. And on YouTube. That way you know when live videos go up, when clips of the show go up, when make show general show announcements, and also on the podcast side, rate, review, comment. 5-star rating would be very helpful. If you're on a platform where you can comment or you can review, leave us a review. And if you're on Spotify, leave us a comment. If you give us a rating, if you give us a review, if you leave us a comment. Also, this is going to be on replay on Belly Up Sports YouTube channel and on our Rumble channel. So leave a comment in the comment section below because that helps the algorithm. That helps the people get engaged. That people know you're listening to the show, you're watching the show, you're checking us out in Belly Up Sports. And we are a live show on Tuesdays and usually Saturdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. But because of circumstances, we had some things scheduled. We decided to do a Friday show instead. But we want to hear from you. We want your comments. And I know you people we're watching. We're live on Facebook, we're live on Twitter, and we're live on Instagram right now. So we're trying something different, trying some new things here. So, if you're watching live, we'd love to hear from you. And if you're not familiar with us, Dustin, there's a particular time.
I think it's about that time. I think it's chime time.
Oh, it certainly is. All right, we're gonna bring in our guest now. He is the owner, the CEO, CFO, I think, and COO of Snowman Multimedia. He's all over the YouTubes doing things from his talk show to his interviews to his alternative play-by-play, which I've been a part of. But he's an overall great guy. Here he is, Mr. Snowman himself, Mr. Brian Snow. Snowman.
Good evening, gentlemen. How
Good
are you?
Good. Yourself?
evening. Doing well.
Did somebody say baseball? If you don't remember or love this particular theme to get you ready for baseball Saturday, what were you watching, man?
Who's the composer?
See a video of Carlton Fisk waving it fair. Kirk Gibson jumping for joy after his home run.
Seared into the memory.
I saw it in a standalone video and I had to grab it.
So I looked it up about Major League Baseball and NBC. It says, Gemini AI and Google says multiple people, including Randy Edelman, Kevin Gavin, Clark Galt, Steve Martin. I don't know if it's comedian Steve Martin, Scott Shearer, Mitch and Ira Yuspa.
You gotta be careful with Google AI though, Brian, because remember when I used it to make Rob Ryan look worse than he is.
Did it work?
I did.
Yeah. Because I went on a rant that I couldn't believe Rob Ryan still had a job in the NFL. I thought he was out of the league, and I was like, how is he a defensive specialist or whatever it was called with the Raiders this past season? I can't believe it.
Who told this lie? Defensive specialist.
Rex. Rex.
That would explain it.
All right, we're gonna hop into our topics for tonight's episode. First and foremost, keep it short here, but gentlemen, this is the first time in 21 weeks we're not going to have football on a Sunday, NFL football on a Sunday afternoon. 21 weeks. We've gone from September 7th all the way up till now with NFL football, which begs the question to you guys, to our audience. Again, replay on bellyupsports.com. If you're watching live, leave us a comment. What will you do on Sunday without NFL football? Snowman, I'm going to have you lead off here.
I think I just answered that question.
Boring.
Okay.
No football on Sunday. Paul.
Are you kidding me?
And Chris.
What in the all types of blue hell
Are you thinking? No football.
We're not counting the Pro Bowl, by the way. That's
Listen.
That's hot garbage.
Here's my thought on the Pro Bowl games.
Good old
I have been waiting
Mad TV.
I have been waiting to use that one.
I miss Mad TV.
Let's see. Stuff. What will we do without football on this Sunday? Let's think about it.
You got the one that thinks he doesn't know the answer, and then all of a sudden it comes to him, and he's like, he's quickly. Audio listeners, I'm going to tell you right now, you're in for a treat, but also you got to watch this one because you can't see what Ryan was doing.
Oh, I forgot
you fool!
Forgot to put it in the form of a question.
Oh, you got to do the Jeopardy format.
Sunday without football. Nothing. There you go.
What is nothing?
Nothing. I
Parentheses.
got women's college basketball my way
Hey,
on Sunday,
there you go.
and next Sunday I may have a surprise
Oh,
Ooh.
for
that,
because I've teased something for the past 4 weeks. Someone may be joining me on the Super Bowl call.
ooh.
Is it Ray Ray?
Don't you ever suggest that to me again. No, matter of fact,
Cowboys aren't playing, so it's
wait a minute. To use his voice,
You tripping.
if you think that'll happen.
If you don't know who Ray Ray is, go check out Snowman's channel.
It ain't. And no, it is definitely not.
That's right. The Cowboys ain't playing. He won't be there.
Except Jerry Jones would probably offer him a contract to play tight end in the NFL at this stage. He probably would. He probably would. Jerry would sign him right up.
Which prompts the question:
Who in the blue hell are you?
I'm Jerry Jones. I'm the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Ryan, I don't know if you knew this, but I have an amazing football acumen from my time with the Arkansas Razorbacks. And I would implore the media out there to stop taking shoddy shots at my new hire.
Oh yeah,
Use a troll. Troll. Use a troll. I said that use a troll.
buckle your seatbelts, folks. This is going to be a fun episode.
Now, if I have 11 and a half minutes of time, I would like to explain why a 40-year-old LeBron James belongs as a tight end in the National Football League. You should be fired for playing that sound effect.
Oh yeah.
Who's your owner? I want to talk to him.
You're despicable.
Thank you. I've earned that title. Dustin, how about you? What you doing on Sunday?
Well, for me, it's probably going to come down to a couple things. I will miss the void of football. And football also, gentlemen, it gives us an excuse to eat, which I love to do. So I'll probably try to fill the void a little bit with, let's be honest, if you know me at all, you know I like to play video games. So I'll probably sit down, try to catch up with some of that. There's music stuff I'm supposed to be working on for my friend's project.
You do music?
On and off. I used to be much more into it. I'm trying to dip my toe back in the water.
We gotta talk.
Oh yeah, no, we could talk a little bit.
We gotta talk.
We could talk a little bit, see if there's anything I can do once I get my chops back on the old guitar and stuff. But yeah, so I'll probably do some of that stuff. Try to catch up on some of that. And honestly, I'm not going to do much without it. It definitely leaves a void when football, especially once the Super Bowl is over. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I'll probably start watching some Sunday NHL games or Sunday NBA to fill the void a little bit until baseball starts.
For about a month until UFL starts or baseball.
Yeah, but I don't remember
they start the same weekend.
Yeah. Baseball starts real early this year,
March 27th.
There is a doubleheader tomorrow on ABC, the NHL. Blackhawks Panthers at 1:00 and Rangers. Why are they putting on the Rangers again? Rangers and Bruins at Rangers. They're dog water this year. They're dog water this year. I'm not saying that as a New Jersey Devils fan. I'm saying that as a hockey fan.
Mr. McCarthy.
Yes, Snowman.
They're the Rangers. You said it on my program. They're the Rangers.
Gross.
And the bad part is ABC is telling us they're the Rangers, and to get over it.
You're gonna like the Rangers, whether you like it or you're gonna watch the Rangers whether you like it or not.
It's the same thing that same network does with LeBron James. Oh, did I say that aloud?
You ain't lying.
Well, and I think part of it is too, it's that old New York Boston rivalry, right? But not every aspect of that rivalry hits the same.
Exactly. I will probably take a shot at the Panthers Blackhawks game if I'm not in process of tearing this office up and helping my wife put hers together. We will see, because we've been putting it off for the last couple of weeks to get this area straightened out and redecorated since she gave me this.
Oh, nice.
Yep, she gave me this.
There's your sign, Snowman.
I have 3 more of these with different things on them.
Oh no.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah. As for me, I've got some I got some schoolwork to catch up on for my certification course. I've got 3 weeks left. So
Good.
I got this week is going to end this coming week I'm ending the unit on water. Then we move on to conditioning, and then I'm done. I'm certified. So
Oh, nice. Nice. Then you can start brewing, my friend.
yes, we can.
I'm hanging this in my office. This is courtesy of my daughter. My daughter Cheyenne gave me this.
Oh, it's awesome.
And my wife, my beautiful wife, gave me a few knickknacks to put on my new desk, such as this bad boy.
Oh, it's a football player.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I couldn't quite make out what it was at first. Yeah.
And she calls me her dragon. So she gave me this, and she surprised me with this one.
Is that made out of pewter, Snowman? Is that?
I believe it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to collect pewter figurines and stuff. I had a couple.
Well,
They're awesome.
I'm excited for her to get her craft room together.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She's going to be making some jewelry and some other stuff. And if that door's closed, then old Snowman's got to stay out because she's doing schoolwork and she's also working. She works from home part of the time.
Okay.
So when I'm in here, I got to keep it to a low roar if that door is closed.
Duly noted. So Snowman's doing some office work. Dustin's going to be playing video games, and I'm going to be doing schoolwork. So hey,
what video games you playing, Dustin?
I'm right now. I'm primarily a Switch and PS5 guy. I bet I use a couple of online games as basically an excuse to socialize with friends of mine that live in Virginia now. Right now, we've been on a lot of For the King 2. If anybody knows about that, that's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons type game, but in a video game form. And you form a party, you consult each other before you make moves and all that kind of stuff. And then we got Tom Clancy's The Division. We've put hours and hours into The Division right now.
Well, when it comes to video games, I'm old school. Like this, and this.
Oh, yeah. Don't you worry about that. My Nintendo love is still strong, and I have a device called a RetroPie, which I built, which allows me to play a lot of those games. And I also own them legally on my Nintendo Online Switch account, so nobody can come after me.
You got this? Did you get this one?
Oh, I do not believe I have that one.
All right, we're going to move on to our next topic, which is a Saturday staple. It's on Friday. Hot food takes. The burger, man. It bounces.
The burger and super slow mo.
It's disturbing how much it bounces.
It is.
You can thank Canva for that element. All right, so thank you. Usually on a Friday we do our happy hour edition, but I know Dustin's been kind of under the weather most of the week, and it's the last day of dry January. Praise the Lord, and pass the beer.
Oh, you can finally try that party shirt Friday.
Yes,
I gave
finally try it. Yes.
you.
So Our category for today is our favorite snacks while we're having an adult beverage. And Dustin, I'm gonna have you lead off since we kind of go back and forth in what to do with this category, and was inspired by and Ask Us Anything. We just kind of kept rolling with it. So I'll go with you. What's your go-to snack for when you have an adult beverage?
Well, I like to keep it if I'm at the bar, or I am at home and I'm drinking and stuff. Especially now that I'm older, I like beer still. I love beer's my first, alcohol love, if that makes any sense. But I can't drink it the way that I used to when I was younger. It fills me up. So my snacking habits have changed as I've gotten older with beer. So right now, I like to keep it pretty basic. I'll grab Dots pretzels. If you haven't tried Dots pretzels, get after them. They are my number. I'll put this at number 1A and 1B. 1A is Dots pretzels for me, specifically the original. They got a lot of other good flavors, but I find that the original pairs well with beer. And major shout out to Wolf's Beer Garden in Albany for this, but I will go with peanuts in shell, thanks to the beer garden, because you can just throw them on the floor. And it's also genius on their part, because what do you want to do after you have a salty snack? Drink more. You got to quench your thirst.
Mm-hmm.
If we were doing foods to eat with beer, it would be a different ball of wax entirely. But then we're getting into some Super Bowl football food territory. We don't need to tackle that right now.
No, we'll talk about that in our Saturday Super Bowl preview next Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
But
good marketer, what can I say?
Like I said, just the basics for me now. I like the peanuts and also Dots pretzels with beer. Those are two things that pair very, very well. And I mean, every once in a while, I'll throw like a Cheez-It in there, something that's like light and not going to fill me up a whole bunch, because the beer's already going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryan, I guess I'm going to throw it back to you, and we'll save the best for last.
Oh, okay. All right. So for me, I'm a guy who likes to. I don't know. Maybe this is madness. Maybe this is genius. Depends on how you want to spell it out.
Are you going to hit me with a goldfish and raisins? Sorry, Stan.
God, no.
I had to get it in again.
Yes. One of our frequent guests on our show, he likes to have a snack of goldfish and raisins together.
No, 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 no.
Yep.
He's also your co-host on the Three Rails Metro Hockey Podcast. And when we do it, he is my co-host and really the leader of the band on Seahawks Sessions, which expect an episode very soon.
There you go. Yeah, he's a to be kind. He's a
There, I filled in the blanks.
Thank you. So it depends. So it's going to depend on what kind of beer I have. Like if I have a stout or a porter, I want something a little bit sweet to kind of go with it. Like because they have chocolate, you usually have little chocolate notes here and there, little caramel. So maybe like I have a little cupcake or something, like a mini cupcake, or if I piece of cake, like not a big piece of cake, but it's like a small cupcake. Something to kind of heighten the sense, the sweet in the palate. IPAs, typically I go for something a little bit see, so it depends. Yeah, it also depends on the IPA. I mean, a little salty, so I go with the potato chip. But I know that on my local watering holes, they have homemade. They make their own potato chips.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they have a nice little saltiness with the bitterness of the IPA. Not so much with the pilsners or the lagers, but I try to keep it a little bit neutral with that, with like maybe some little oyster crackers.
Oh yeah,
little oyster crackers, which are good. So it depends on what kind of beer I have. Maybe this is just the beer connoisseur in me. I like to mix it up a little bit depending on what kind of beers I have.
I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if I'm having a whiskey, I mean maybe I'll pair it up with some crackers and some a little bit of a little called little mini charcuterie or charcuterie as
Yeah.
Why does that sound so wrong?
Tanzale Smart. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Smart. One of my favorite guys from Hard Knocks
Why does that
2023
sound so
preseason.
wrong?
Yeah.
Because it is probably,
when
but
he
still
came
funny.
out with that. Oh, he knew too. He had to. I have to wonder
He
if he
had
planned it.
to.
He did
He
it
had
on
to
purpose.
know.
Yeah.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Solomon Thomas is like, no, it's charcuterie. He's like face palming while everybody
Wouldn't
else is
you?
just dying. And he actually made a charcuterie board.
He
in
got
one
you
of the
with
next
it.
episodes. He got into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Snowman. What's your go-to snack when you have an adult beverage?
Food.
And there it is. This has been this edition of Hot Food Takes. There's the burger.
I actually, in actuality, my wife likes to, especially when we're watching football together, she'll make a 3-cheese ball,
Ooh.
Okay.
and it's a big sucker too. And we'll just have crackers or chips and dip that while I'm polishing off, or while we're polishing off whatever we're drinking. Recently she bought me a um a 6-pack of apple ale,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and
Okay.
I love apple ale.
Mhm.
I absolutely love it. I can't drink much of it because of my body and the changes I've gone through. But when I do drink it, I like having like snacks like crackers and chips.
Yeah, a little savory to offset the sweet. I getcha.
Yeah, but then I have a horrible sweet tooth, and one night when I had an apple ale, I decided to couple it with something chocolate. Oops.
Whoops.
Zonk City.
Oh yeah.
For real. Never, ever, ever, if you are a connoisseur of something like Red's Apple Ale, like I am, or Wicked Apple Ale,
Or Angry Orchard. Yep.
or oh God, Angry Orchard got me through a horrible roommate experience.
Oh jeez.
Oh no. No need to go into it. I know the history.
But Dustin doesn't. I'll keep it as brief as possible. I lived with a roommate that treated me like he was in a relationship. Does that tell you anything?
Oh
Vic-
jeez.
Vic Allah, how dare you?
It wasn't. It
I
wasn't.
know it,
You know
but
who it is.
know.
You know who it
I
is.
know. I know.
This guy, first of all, was a Cub fan.
Oh,
That should
okay.
tell you everything you need to know with that. Second of all, he loved eating and drinking my food and drink that I bought with my money from doing games into the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I had to outsmart him one night. And I said, "All right, I'll fix you." I bought a pack of Red's Apple Ale into the house, knowing they would disappear. Here's the trick: all the bottles were empty.
Oh no.
He don't like me after that.
Yeah.
Why'd you bring those in here and there's nothing in them? Oh, there was something in them. I just decided to drink them.
Sucks to suck.
But yeah, I just drink like Red's Apple Ale or Angry Orchard. Now that's my alcohol of choice, and sometimes I'll have some wine with the wife.
Mhm.
But yeah, something snacky. If it's a big game, however, we'll save that for the Super Bowl.
All right.
But I will throw you a hint. Last year, when I was getting ready to do the live stream of the Super Bowl, I had my drink. I had 2 cans of water here. And what does my wife do to put me in a coma? She brought the one thing I requested for Super Sunday: meatballs.
Oh, meatballs will get you every time.
Mhm.
Meatballs in her homemade gravy.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be
Yeah. Anybody who watched that stream knew I was fighting the zonks for 6.5 hours.
How true.
Because when she brought me the first plate of meatballs, and the pile wasn't that high. And I said, okay, I can get through this, but I had to be careful. Like I said, with me not having 5 organs due to cancer surgery, I knew the meatballs were going to go right through me. Sure as hell they did. Went to the restroom, came back. There was a bigger plate of meatballs in front of me.
Dr. K.
And Dr. K had this evil grin. If y'all seen Dr. K, you know she loves messing with me when I'm on the air. She had this evil grin on her face. I'm like, honey, this is twice the size of the first plate you brought me. She said, yeah. Wait till you see what I bring you for the second half. Oh, dear Lord.
Oh, man.
She brought me a whole tray.
She brought me for the second half, after the halftime show, she went into the kitchen and went to work. Dr. K was busy. She brought me on a tray meatballs, vegetables, ranch dressing, couple fruit cups, and like 2 or 3 sweets.
Man.
And then decided to couple it with 60 ounces of water. Basically 1.5 gallons.
Mhm.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah.
After that Super Bowl, there was no way I was staying hydrated, especially with me drinking 6 of those doggone gallons.
And it has to go somewhere.
Yep.
And after it went, I went to bed.
And that's been its edition of Hot Food Takes.
I'm mad there's not a second patty in that burger that needs to fall down.
Yeah, right. I probably would have fell out.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been able to sustain it.
All right, we got to redo the shot. The other patty fell out. All right, we're going to move to our main topic
Hold
of
that
conversation.
shot, fellas. Slow it down a little bit. It's still falling. We got to throw that patty back in there.
Super slow-mo this time.
As the director is drooling while he's calling that shot.
or the comptroller's the accountant's getting very angry because they're wasting all that meat.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Steam coming out of his ears could cook that burger. All right, moving to our main topic of conversation this week on the Let's Go podcast with Tom Brady and Jim Gray. They had it on.
I already know my. Give me this.
Hold on. Let me introduce things. All right.
You put the question up. There's your introduction right there. Okay.
Don't get trigger happy. Okay. On my show. I'm sorry. On this show. Anyway, on the Let's Go podcast with Tom Brady and Jim Gray, they had an old friend.
Insert middle word here.
Yes, but we're going to keep it FCC friendly because we want sponsors.
That's what I'm doing with my morning show, so I
go.
understand.
So, Bill Belichick playfully suggested that the Vince Lombardi Trophy should be renamed as the Tom Brady Trophy.
Now,
hold on. All right, play it because I got to get in character. Hold on.
First,
I got to get in character. Hang on a second.
First, Al Michaels.
He did what?
Then Paul Allen.
Are you kidding me?
Then the painter from the Chiefs commercial.
Great googly moogly.
My friend Chris Bass.
What in the all types of blue hell?
And to finish it off, Mr. Bullwinkle.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no. Hell to the no. To the no, no, no. Listen.
All right, I'm back.
Coach.
So this is what Coach Belichick said. I'm
Oh,
gonna
boy.
put myself in solo mode here. And I quote, players win games. You can't win games without good players. I don't care who the coach is. It's impossible. You can't win with good players, without good players. You know, I found out when I had Taylor and Banks and Harry Carson, Pepper Johnson, Jim Burt, Emerson Walls, all those guys at the Giants. The same thing we had good at Cleveland and then at New England. I mean, it's Brady, it's McGinnis, it's Vrabel, it's Bruschi, it's Corey Dillon, it's Randy Moss, Troy Brown, Lloyd Malloy, Ty Law, Rodney Harrison. Those are guys who won the games. Man, I didn't make any tackles. I didn't make any kicks. That was Vinatieri that made that kick in 4 inches of snow. They don't name it the Star Trophy. It's named the Lombardi Trophy. Maybe they should name it the Brady Trophy. He won 7 of them.
The laugh
Close
at the
quote.
end. The laugh at the end was especially authentic. It's exactly how he does it.
Yeah, right.
I know,
right,
Snowman.
Dustin,
I know Snowman's champing at the bit here, so we gotta let him. We gotta.
He
let
already
him.
did. I think he's trying to not to die.
Dustin, you
Go
better
ahead.
go now before I start pushing buttons again.
All right. I'm gonna say, especially, I think you hit the word on the head there, Ryan, when you said you think that he playfully suggested it. Now, does he have a point? Yes, the players win the games, but he has huge respect for Vince Lombardi, massive respect for Vince Lombardi. Any coach that has coached the game, anyone who has played the game, realized what Vince Lombardi meant to the game as far as schemes, as far as modernizing his approach to play calling. About the only person that I could think of that would have had as much impact on the game of modern football would be Paul Brown. But Paul Brown, correct me if I'm wrong, he already has a trophy named after him, does he not? I thought he did.
Do some real-time research and find out.
I thought he did, but if you were going to change the name of the Vince Lombardi Trophy, which I don't know why you would, Paul Brown would be a decent pick. But guess what? Vince Lombardi, they won the first Super Bowl, didn't they? The first, or the second, or the first. So
First 2 Super Bowls.
First 2. My apologies. But so the name is apt. It didn't become the Super Bowl until it was still known as the championship game previous to that. So it just makes sense that these Super Bowl trophies should be named the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And maybe it's a little bit of the traditionalist in me, but I do not think Bill Belichick was serious about this. I don't think this is one of the, people talk about replacing the logo for the NBA, replacing Jerry West as the logo. Why? That logo is a fantastic logo. We don't have to change everything, everybody.
Or Harmon Killebrew with Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah. And you know how much Griffey means to me, because guess what? Not to spoil it, but once we get to episode 24 of the year, it's a pretty good chance that he's going to be my guy.
Yeah. I did look it up.
Fielder Ken Griffey Jr.
So the Paul.
Anybody who's watched the Mariners game at the old Kingdom recognized that public address voice.
Yeah. So there is a Paul Brown coaching award. However, it's presented annually by the Bengals to outstanding high school football coaches in the region. So
then.
But there should be a award and some sort of trophy named after him for his contributions to the game of football as we know it now. That is for sure. The man doesn't get respect because he not only founded one NFL team,
he
founded 2 of them.
Yeah. The Browns, that's what they're named after because they were his team. And then guess what? When they fired him and he went to Cincinnati, that's how the Bengals were born. And he took the colors too. But his impact on the game, he and Lombardi and Landry, I would say those are the 3 that really pushed the game forward and pushed it into the territory that we know today. The
How
descendant.
about a fourth one? Bill Walsh.
Oh yeah, Bill Walsh, of course. How
Yeah.
could I forget
Yeah.
Bill Walsh?
And this is why Art Modell doubly sucks, because when he bought the Browns, got rid of Paul Brown, and then he moved the team to Baltimore. So, all right, I'll just keep it short. No, the Vince Lombardi Trophy should not be named the Tom Brady Trophy, but I will say this though: Super Bowl MVP trophy should be called the Tom Brady.
No, it should not. No, I vehemently disagree with you on that.
What should it be called?
The Montana Trophy,
There it is. There it is.
I was thinking for a
Saw it
half a
coming.
second.
I
I'm
saw
like,
it coming a
where's he
mile.
gonna go?
That's why I
All
can't
right.
think. That's why I fake side and went.
Yes.
I knew it was coming.
All right. I got to play this playfully for you, Mr. McCarthy. You've heard it before, but rename the Tom Brady Trophy.
Mister, will you please wake up?
I'm not the first one who suggested it, by the way. But it's
That's a more tolerable.
The Super Bowl
suggestion.
MVP should be named after Montana. Why? Because everything Brady has achieved, Montana did first in a harder era.
All right.
I can agree with that.
Matter of fact, Mr. Montana was the reason for the West Coast offense because it gave Bill Walsh the first real horse that he could use to run that West Coast offense.
That is true. I mean, in the Walsh coaching tree goes
Yep.
far, far, far.
Yeah, it goes deep.
And
Those roots are deep.
There's one fellow who should be in the Hall of Fame right now that I went completely off about.
Ooh! Can I answer this question, Mr. Snow?
Mr. McCarthy, go ahead.
Is it a running back? Is he from Nebraska? Did he
Yep.
play fullback originally in college?
Yes.
Did he wear number 33?
He did.
Is he Roger Craig?
That's him. Matter
There
of
you go.
fact, hold it.
The founder of the 1,000 Club, by the way.
Yes, and he's not celebrated.
No,
Nope.
that's ridiculous.
BS to me. That's not fair.
It's a glaring
Y'all want to see
omission.
something? Y'all want to see something that's totally not fair? I can describe Roger Craig's career, although others will not do it, and the impact that he had on the game in one play. And Ryan, if you'll take a look in the back, it's ready for you.
All right, courtesy of I think CBS Sports.
Yep.
Free and fair use.
There he is.
And it gives those guys a little extra weight. Roger Craig still on his feet, still running. What a run by Roger Craig. You'll never see a better one than that.
That's all I can really play. But
That run right there. If you got no other reason to elect Roger Craig for the Hall of Fame, take a look at that.
That's a compelling case. And there is one person who is going into the Hall of Fame this year that was a member of the Bill Walsh coaching tree. Does anybody know who it is? The answer.
Too many of them that should be in a coach.
The answer, of course, and you knew I had to do it, Snowman, because we were in the 49ers lane. Mike Holmgren.
Offensive coordinator for the Niners from 81 to 90.
Yes, and he had to learn how to he was the one because they went through that season, right, where they were using Young and Montana interchangeably.
Mhm.
And if you believe Mike Holmgren, he was the one that said to Bill Walsh, he's like, "Coach, you got to pick a quarterback." And Bill Walsh left the room. Bill Walsh left the room, and the rest of the coaches are saying, Mike, you're an idiot. Why would you say that? And he's going, I just got fired. I'm going to get fired. And and Bill Walsh comes back in and he goes, Mike, you're right. He said, but if I do this and it backfires, I'm going to have to fire you. So Mike Holmgren was terrified for the rest of that season.
And the best thing is it didn't backfire.
Yes, it did not. It did not.
It did not backfire because by the time Holmgren left in 1990 or after the 1990 season, George Seifert was already installed as the head coach because Bill Walsh had retired.
Yep.
And they already had, with a lot of experience, their starter in place in Steve Young. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget, to lead off a paragraph in Sports Illustrated, what was said. With Joe Montana, it was like a beautiful symphony. With Steve Young, it was like a jam session. Either way, you got results.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you played all those buttons, Snowman. What's your true opinion what's your take on this? I guess you could say tongue-in-cheek comment, but some people are taking it very, very seriously. I'm not. This is just
Stay off the weed.
And with that,
I mean that playfully. I of course mean that very, very playfully. And I know anybody who took that comment of Bill Belichick seriously, with all the respect that he has for the coaches that he worked under and looked at, come on now. Mm-hmm. That's a tongue-in-cheek, non-serious comment, because if that were the case, he'd have a lot of people behind him if he were serious about that. I mean, he worked under one of the greatest coaches of all time, Bill Parcells.
Yep. Whose fun fact is in this area of the country, like half the year.
Yep. The tuna himself, Bill Parcells, gave Bill Belichick a chance as his defensive coordinator. Hello, Super Bowl 25.
Mm-hmm. And 21.
He was a DC for 21. Yeah. So 2 Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator. We all know what he did for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Okay. But just like Tom Brady paid homage to Montana, Bill Belichick pays homage to the coaches before him.
Yep.
Including Vince Lombardi, including Paul Brown, including the late great Bill Walsh. Okay. So, and of course there are people that take this way too seriously. Ryan, you and I have talked about it on the morning show so many times over. And that look on McCarthy's face should tell y'all everything, right?
Yep. Look, just because you were here the longest doesn't necessarily mean you're the greatest. I've said that.
You know what? This morning on the morning show, Cole Johnson and I went extended with what we usually do on Wednesdays, which prompted Ryan to comment, but it's Friday.
Yeah,
but we couldn't help it. There's no football There's no football this Sunday. There's not another football game until next Sunday. How are we going to fill 120 minutes? Well, we filled 110 of them with you know who.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, can you send me that meme, by the way? Because
Which one?
I got the one that you talked about this morning about Team LeBron with Steph and Durant against Team Jordan, Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, in a 3-on-3. And I'll tell Dustin what I said to Snowman when I watched that clip. I said the same thing to Cole too. I said, and when you said that one comment says, "Oh, Team LeBron would smoke Team Jordan," I said, "Look," and I wrote to you. I wrote to you. This is the exact words I wrote to you, and I wrote to Cole. I said, Team Jordan would talk so much smack before the Team LeBron would be in a puddle before the game even started.
With KD especially. Hey, look, I'm not going to argue KD's ability as a player, but you are right, Ryan. He would be sufficiently rattled.
Listen, KD, who's a hell of a scorer.
Yep.
Versus Larry Joe Bird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who had more arc in his shot than Steph does at 6'9".
Yep.
That
And
should
who-
tell y'all everything you need to know.
And who quipped during, I think, what was it, 88 or 1988 or 1989 All-Star game in the 3-point contest? Who's playing for
88.
second?
Yeah.
88.
Yep.
Who's playing for second?
Who's fighting? 88 in Chicago at old Chicago Stadium.
The same one that the same All-Star game when Michael Jordan won the slam dunk contest.
And the All-Star Game MVP with a game-high 40 points.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, we got to take our network mandated commercial break. When we come back, we're bringing back the list. List. All right, stand by and stay tuned for more. No credentials required. This episode of No Credentials Required is brought to you by Invader Coffee. For the coffee lover who wants good, quality coffee with no bullshit and no filler, Invader Coffee is an ultra-premium, veteran-owned coffee company proudly delivering only the best coffee your hard-earned money can buy. They aim to only serve the highest quality, organic, air-roasted coffee beans sourced from free trade farms all over the world. They keep things simple. The best coffee at an affordable price in order to provide you with the value you deserve for your morning boost. 100% fair trade, 100% organic coffee beans, 100% air-roasted, 100% money-back guarantee. Visit invadercoffee.com, enter promo code BELLYUP at checkout, and receive 15% off your order. Guess what I got in the mail today, fellas?
There
I have
it is.
a bone to pick with you.
The
I know.
Valentine's Day blend.
I have a bone to pick with you.
You have more than one bone to pick with me, sir.
You darn tootin'. You owe me a present.
I do. This is what I received in the mail today, fellas. Doggone it. Come out. There we go.
Audio listeners, while he's opening that package and people watching, there we go.
There it is. There it is.
Ooh, it
I was
smells
going to fill time,
like-
but you got that open faster than I thought.
I'm a strong boy.
No
what can I
one
say?
or nothing keeps McCarthy from his coffee.
Damn right. So I got
Not
what?
coffee.
Coffee. During Tuesday's show, I was
Mhm.
actually looking at the Invader Coffee. And I noticed that their Valentine's Day blend, Chocolate Lust, was available in whole bean. And I
wow.
got it.
There
Wow.
you go.
It came in the mail today. So this is what you want to do. Help the show. Help the show. Order in our affiliate link on the Facebook description, as well. It'll also be on the Belly Up Sports YouTube channel tomorrow, and it'll be in the podcast description. We have an affiliate link, which is in the description. You're gonna click on that link.
I gotta tell Dustin this one. I pulled an all-nighter one night when I wasn't supposed to. My wife came in here 3 times and said, "Baby, you got to come to bed." I said, "I'll come to bed." I tried all 3 times, couldn't fall asleep. I didn't want to disturb her because she had to get up and go to work in the morning. So I'm in here, I'm doing the show, and I'm rolling right along. And it was a Monday because McCarthy was due on the show. He made a comment during the subject I was talking about, a subject that escapes me at this time. And instead of saying Ryan McCarthy, I spit out in my New York accent, Ryan McCarthy.
That's because Wise was with you.
And it stuck.
Yes. Link in the
And it
description.
stuck.
Link in the description for Invader Coffee. Help the show by ordering through our affiliate link. You use a promo code BELLYUP for 15% off your order. Save yourself a little cashola at checkout. Comes right to your house, free. I'd say free shipping, but it comes to your house. Premium shipping comes right to your house. You got a bag waiting for you. It's fresh roasted, or if you prefer ground, get yourself some ground coffee, which is fine too. You know, we don't judge.
Mexican chocolate blend, and I killed it within a week. It was that good.
It was delicious. It's air roasted.
Killed it.
It's air roasted.
My wife saw the package, and she says, "Is this what you're advertising during your show?" Yes. Now she's not a coffee drinker. She's not a coffee drinker, but she smelled that Mexican blend one morning, and she comes up to me and she says, You better be lucky I'm not a coffee drinker because I'd beat you to it.
So there's a testimonial right there for Mr. Snowman. Air roasted, smoothest coffee you'll ever drink.
Yep,
So get
it
yourself
is.
some coffee, and link in the description. They've got, and we got some Dustin said he has got some breaking news.
Yes.
Before
Breaking
we went
news.
on the air, you got some breaking news.
That's right, folks. It's Dwayne Haskell reporting for Invader Coffee. The donut dealer blend has returned. The people at Invader, the good people at Invader, listen to me. I said, if you're listening, last show, I think I said it. If you're listening, Invader, I said, bring back donut blend. And I get an email in my mailbox tonight. And what did I do right before the show besides prep for the show? Because sometimes I'm a last minute kind of guy. I ordered a bag of the whole bean donut dealer blend. They also mentioned in that same email that the outsider blend has returned. So I'm thinking about getting a bag of that right after the show, because that's one of the few that I have not had yet. And I will attest everything Ryan says and Snowman said about this coffee. It is true. The flavor is good. It's not overwhelming. I drink it black because that's the way I like it. But I also feel that you do not need to add all the extra cream and sugar and any of that stuff.
No.
The coffee is not bitter. It arrives fast. That like Ryan already said.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know it wasn't bitter because that was my fear of trying it black.
No, this is air roasted, so all the acidity is taken out.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Then you owe me a present, Ryan. Especially, and I'll attach a health story to it. My doctor said that I can have 2 cups of coffee, and before I could say anything, Dr. K strikes again and goes, "This is not a cup."
Oh yeah.
So if the acid's taken out of it, I am willing to give it a shot.
Oh yeah, the acid. Yeah,
without
I
all
mean,
the sugar.
unlike other brands like, I don't know, rhymes with Carducks, rhymes with Fleen Fountain, rhymes with Bulgers. Although, shout out Mark Bulger.
Mark Bulger. You beat me to it. You beat me to it. I wanted that one.
None of that stuff sits on the shelf for too long because Invader Coffee is that good. The air roasted, it's specialty air roasted. The city's taken out. None of that. They roast it fresh. As soon as the beans come in, they roast them, and it comes right to your door. So visit the link in the description. Code BELLYUP at checkout for 15% off your order. It's been a long time, gentlemen, but we're bringing it back. I forgot to mention, Invader Coffee. You get the no credentials required seal of approval. Even puppers like themselves. Even puppers like
fuel for the fearless.
Indeed. All right, it's been a while, gentlemen, but we're bringing it back. It's time for the list.
You just made the list! Oh my gosh.
That one always gets me. Part of it is it's the oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Was that JBL on the commentary?
No, I think that was Michael Cole.
That was Michael Cole.
Okay, it was Michael Cole.
That was Michael Cole.
Yeah, that was during his SmackDown days before he went over to Raw,
gosh.
I believe. All right, gentlemen, tomorrow is the Royal Rumble. I'll be watching because I love me some WWE the big four. The
PLEs.
The PLEs, the big 4 PLEs, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series. Those are my jams. Those are my jams when it comes to pro wrestling. Also, shout out Simon Miller, same fellow bald a-hole. He's love his program. So I approached Dustin. We talked about this last week after the show last week. He said we got to do some filler content after we talk about football because we have no football this week. And I said, well, we got talking about some sort of tangent in regards to pro wrestling. And I said, we've got the list, favorite pro wrestling stables. So we'll go with our top 3
All
favorite pro wrestling stables. So get your minds ready. Get your minds ready. Get your thoughts ready. Write them down if you need to.
Mhm.
Oh, I did.
So I'm gonna lead off with our guest and have him talk about his favorite pro wrestling stables of all time.
Favorite pro wrestling stables of all time. When the WWE was the WWF,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stop watching it. There was this thing called WrestleMania.
Yep.
Before they made it commercialized and put it in all the big stadiums and things like that, when they actually had storytelling. I love the Attitude Era Survivor Series.
Mm-hmm.
There's all that tied together.
Mhm.
Wasn't much of a SummerSlam guy. For me, it was all WrestleMania and I forgot what did I just say?
It's Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. Thank you. Royal Rumble was cool at first, but it suffered the same fate as all the other events did. But I liked in its infancy, I liked the Royal Rumble. For me, it was Saturday night's main event.
Yes.
It was the old school Saturday night's main event. Of course, they would tape it months in advance. They tape it a month in advance.
Yep.
And that's why it was a month. It was a monthly show, but it was Saturday night's main event did it for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and they're bringing that back, I think.
Yeah, they brought it. Actually, we just had one last Saturday.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, they
Yep.
brought it back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old. I know that.
But I'll give credit to Triple H here. He gave it kind of an old school feel with the theme, with the old WWE logo, the old WWF logo.
Okay.
Logos everywhere.
Yeah.
Like Jesse the Body Ventura.
That was cool. That was cool because he was one of the staples for Saturday night's main event.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
He was one of the staples and one of my favorite villains.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of my favorite heels.
The heel announcer. Yes.
Yep, the heel of all heels. He and Bobby the Brain Heenan were like 1 and 1A for me.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah. No,
they're rest in power.
Bobby the Brain could play off of anybody he was working with.
Mm-hmm.
And make it sound so authentic. When he worked with Gorilla Monsoon, and there are so many great stories with those two about them. They would tell stories about them pranking each other, and how. And I thought for the longest time, until I started hearing stories about it, I thought for the longest time that Bobby the Brain Heenan hated Gorilla Monsoon. That wasn't the case at all.
No.
That wasn't the case. They were best friends.
Yeah.
They were the best. They were the best of friends. And I love the tribute that Heenan paid to Gorilla Monsoon after Monsoon died. After Bobby the Brain had gone on to WCW, and he said he's now in the gorilla position.
Yep.
That made me cry.
Yeah.
That made me cry, especially when I started finding out about how much they loved each other and loved working with each other, and how much time they spent together in front of the camera, behind the camera, how many pranks they would pull on each other. It was just fabulous. But so for me, my biggest staple was Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event led me to WrestleMania.
Yep. But I'm talking about wrestling stables, like the wrestlers, like the guys who would go together.
Oh,
like
factions. Like
Yeah.
factions,
Oh,
like
that's
the Four
it.
Horsemen. Like the four.
Oh,
yeah,
that I didn't know. Well, the Four Horsemen first and foremost.
of course.
So I completely missed the question, but
That's okay.
No, but we got
but we got you going. So I mean,
yeah,
those
helps. This helps.
well, it was the shows that were stables for me, but then I fell in love with the Four Horsemen.
Right.
First and foremost, I fell in love with the Four Horsemen. Then I fell in love with the Road Warriors. I fell in love with the Road Warriors.
Hawk and Animal with Paul Ellering.
Yeah.
With precious Paul Ellering.
Yep.
If there's a rivalry I love dearly, it was Rock and Austin.
Oh yeah, I mean that's That was a good one. And Rock was part of a stable at one point that I may get to
Nation of
later, but I don't
Domination.
know. Mhm.
Nation of Domination.
Also part of the corporation.
Yep.
Yes.
He
He was
was
a
also
corporate
part of the
champion.
corporation.
Yep.
And if I can throw a favorite storyline here, it was 1999 when Mr. McMahon won the Royal Rumble, but he goofed.
Okay.
The way the storyline went, he filed some papers and planned on appointing a replacement, and then Shawn Michaels showed up
Mm-hmm.
and said the rule was if the winner of the Royal Rumble is unable or unwilling to go to fight the champion, then the runner-up gets all rights and privileges, which messed Mr. McMahon up, and I don't know how he kept a straight face. I don't know. When they worked with Austin, when the corporation and Austin had a segment together, I don't know how they kept a straight face. I really don't. I don't know how they kept the straight face, because there were sometimes I would see Stephanie get ready to break. There were sometimes I would see Triple H get ready to break. Lord knows they tried their damnedest to break the Undertaker.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's everybody's trying to do it. Nobody could do it.
Everybody was trying to break the Undertaker, and no one could do it. Not even Ric Flair. Not even the legendary Ric Flair could break the Undertaker. Loved the NWO.
Yep.
Love that angle. Love the NWO from
Then they-
WCW to WWF.
Then they beat it to death with a giant stick, which killed WCW.
Yeah, I know. That
Yeah.
dual cast killed me.
Oh yeah.
That
Mhm.
dual cast killed me.
Yeah, I'm in that boat because I was always a WWF guy through and through. I followed them, but I was watching a lot of WCW back in the Monday Night Wars. We're sure anybody when we get to my list later, you'll see that I was watching WCW.
All right. So what's your three? What's your three favorite out of all those?
I only have two.
Okay.
I only have two. Four Horsemen and Rock and Austin. That was it for me. That tied
All right.
both eras together for me.
All right. All right.
That tied both eras together. But if I were to pick a third, oh geez. If I had to pick a third, you know what? It would be the Hart Foundation.
Ooh, okay.
That's a great pick.
It would be the
Great
Hart
stable.
Foundation.
Great stable.
That would be those are my three.
Yeah. All right. All right. Thanks, Snowman. Dustin, walking
All
over
right.
to you.
I'm going to keep this as quick as I can. And also, I went with 5 because I didn't know how many we were going with.
That's
So-
okay. If you had 5, go with them. Go with them.
Well,
Go with
all
them.
right.
Go with
I'll
it,
keep-
man.
I was
I'll
just going
keep
for 3 because I was trying to keep with the time constraints. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'll keep it real short. Number 5 is the Radicals. This shows you that I watched WCW because the Radicals jumped from WCW to the WWF. The Radicals were Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, and Perry Saturn.
Perry Saturn.
So they are at number 5. Number 4 is the aforementioned Nation of Domination. Farouk, his poor Ron Simmons. They stuck him with that horrible
Ron Simmons.
gladiator gimmick when he first jumped to the WWF. I'm sure he was like, "What am I doing?" but love me some Nation of Domination. And, obviously The Rock started to become the lead banana in that thing. They turned it into a storyline. It was great. And I like D'Lo Brown coming out there with the exaggerated, head going from side to side. So now we get to the meat and the potatoes. Number 3, I put it the Four Horsemen. And it's basically for 2 factors. One, I thought Rick Flair and Arn Anderson were really cool together, and I loved a lot of their themes. But the other thing was, it was so cool. Something about doing this. The 4, it was always nice. It was always nice. So they make my top 3. Number 2, DX. DX. There are 2 iterations of DX, though. The OG DX was Shawn Michaels, Triple H, China and Rick Rude. Yes, that's right. Rick Rude was
was a part of
briefly
it.
in DX, but everybody knows very fondly the version of DX that would later happen where they added X-Pac and they added the New Age Outlaws. DX was awesome. A lot of memories. People still say their catchphrases today.
Mhm.
But number one with a bullet, and this will tell you, I was watching a lot of WCW. It's the NWO. The
Yeah.
logo, the
Yes.
theme. I entered a meeting at work because they said I could do whatever I wanted. I checked to the NWO theme with the toothpick. I flicked it in the conference room. I had sunglasses on. To this day, I had an NWO shirt when I was on a bowling team with our buddy Scott Ryan and the guy who I haven't been to in too long, my barber, cuts my hair, Mike Lambert. I got us NWO shirts and I said, guys, put these on. NWO, I love the NWO. You hit the nail on the head, though, Ryan. WCW, they killed it a little bit because they started adding everybody and their brother to the NWO. But my favorite iteration will forever be Hall, Nash, Hogan. But when they added Ted DiBiase and Six at the time, he was just Six. He wasn't Six-Pac yet. That was when he came back. When they added those two, I was also cool with it because DiBiase, former WWF guy, Six, formerly 1-2-3 Kid, WWF guy. So it stuck with the story. NWO number one with a bullet. Ryan, I kick it over to you.
All right. So honorable mentions for me go to the Undisputed Era from NXT with Adam Cole, Bebe, Bobby Fish. Bobby Fish, local guy too, originally from Colony. He graduated. He graduated with a friend of the show, Jeff Levac. Trying to remember who else was it? Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. So they ruled NXT for a number of years, but now they're all in. Well, most of them are in AEW now. I think Bobby Fish is independent. I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Other honorable mention: the Mean Street Posse.
Oh,
not because they were so dominant, but because they were so damn goofy.
It was, but it was funny. I always laughed at the Mean Streets. I'll tell you, Ryan, I almost put the oddities on my list. So
oh my gosh,
we're in the same ballpark.
I was just playing that song this morning.
With Insane Clown Posse.
I was just playing that theme this morning and rocking out, while I was working on some stuff before I went to the doctor today. Man, you read my mind, Dustin.
All right, so I'm gonna start with I'll go pretty quickly, like Dustin. Number 5, the Heenan family.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
With was it Andre the Giant? I don't remember who else is in that group. Haku.
Andre the Giant, so. Haku, Big John Studd.
Yes, Big John Studd. Yep.
Big John Studd.
Yep. So that's number 5.
King Kong Bundy.
King Kong Bundy. Yes, thank you. He had all the big dudes.
Oh yeah,
all the big guys.
He wanted to squash Hulkamania.
He wanted to squash Hogan.
Squash Hogan, literally and figuratively speaking.
Literally and figuratively.
Number 3, Hart Foundation, obviously.
Yes.
And what's sad is that I think 3 out of the 4 of them have passed on.
Yeah.
Owen Hart passed away in the ring tragically.
Yeah.
Jim Neidhart passed away from cancer, and Davey Boy Smith passed away from a heart attack, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an honorable mention: the British Bulldogs.
Yeah, British Bulldogs, great, one of the greatest tag teams ever. If Dynamite Kid doesn't sock somebody with a bag of nickels,
right,
he would have been much different story. Number 3, I kept number 3 modern. I went with the Bloodline. Raise your ones to the sky.
All right, the Bloodline. There we go.
Yeah, OG, not the new Bloodline. That's
right. The new Bloodline sucks.
With Roman Reigns, the Usos, because it's not because of who the guys are. It's because of the story.
Yes.
The entire thread for like 4 years. This went on for. This tells you this was masterful storytelling. This is the part of wrestling I love, the long-term story.
Mhm.
It
Yes.
started during Uncle Melvin days, with Roman Reigns coming back and winning the title, Universal title from, I think it was Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
unfortunately, passed on.
Who also, by the way, that documentary on his life was outstanding.
I gotta
It's on
I gotta
Peacock.
watch that. It's on
It's
Peacock.
on Peacock. Yeah. So started with that, and then he feuded with Jay. No, he feuded with Jimmy first. And then Jay came along and joined. And then you bring in Solo Sikoa as the enforcer. Then you bring in Sami Zayn as kind of the comic foil. But then you see after the Royal Rumble in 2023, like the fracture, or 2024, 2023. 2023. You see it was 2024, excuse me. You kind of see the fractures starting to take place within the bloodline. The Sami Zayn betrayal at Royal Rumble in San Antonio. Then you see Jimmy leave. Jay leaves also, but then he comes back. Solo's just kind of still there. The wise man, Paul Heyman, doing his things behind the scene. And then he leads to WrestleMania, finishing of Cody Rhodes finishing the story, which was, look, the last 10 minutes of that match was so overbooked, but it was so much fun to watch. Like, if there's one match you got to watch from last year, it's the Bloodline Rules match from the main event WrestleMania. Just watch the last 10 minutes. It's insane. It's so much fun. You get John Cena coming back. You get The Rock coming back. Undertaker shows up out of nowhere, literally.
Yeah, yeah.
But it just ties into everything, and the bloodline kind of split, going their own separate ways, and then kind of reuniting sort of at this past Survivor Series. But that whole storyline was just incredibly written out and just unbelievably great. Number 2, I've got the Four Horsemen, the OG Four Horsemen, of course. My number 1 is Degeneration X, because I'm a WWE guy through and through. I gotta admit, like, ever since I was a little tyke watching the old WWE on Saturday mornings and on Saturday mornings, and WCCW on Saturday mornings, but mostly it was all about WWE with Hulk Hogan and all those Junkyard Dog, Big John Studd, all those.
There you go, Junkyard Dog.
So
I adore that. I adore Junkyard Dog.
Yeah, me too. He was one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, and my dad used to. I think he rented WrestleMania 2 one year, and we almost wore that tape out. Brought it back. We reluctantly had to bring it back to Hippos when they were still renting tapes at that time.
Renting tapes.
They were the only place in town that would rent out beta tapes.
Oh, man. Oh, that's right. I forgot you had the betas.
We had beta.
Yeah.
All right, and that's been this installment of The List.
You just made the list! Oh my gosh.
The funny part about Chris Jericho is that in WWE, he wasn't really in any stables.
No.
But in AEW, he's been like 10 stables. It's crazy. Like, dude, just
I can't keep track of them anymore.
Pick one.
Just stick to one. All right, we're gonna wrap up this show since this is episode 9. This is the 9th taping. This is the 9th recording we've done this month, which tells you, A, we've been consistent, and B, this month takes forever.
It does.
But I'm happy to have that the number 9 in the bag, and we decided for this year, for every episode number we do, we're going to talk about our favorite athletes to wear that number. And this is a caveat, Snowman. I'm not sure how much you've paid attention to what we've done with this particular segment, but it's not great number 9s in the history of sports history, but it's the great number 9s that we've seen, like we've actually watched on television or watched live. Those are the athletes we grew up watching or currently watching. So we're gonna lead off with you, since you're our guest. and you tell us who your favorite athlete to wear the number 9 was and why.
To wear the number 9. Let me think. Let's see. Where's my notebook here?
Here we go.
Here's my notebook here. Well, I could say it was, but no, I can't use him. Never had a chance to see him play. Oh, I could say it was it. Nah, but he played for the Cubs. Never mind. There was this guy, but no, can't use him either. There's this. Oh, hell no. I'm not using Matt Barr. I hate Matt Barr. The greatest for me to wear number 9 was Thunder Dan Majerle from the Phoenix Suns.
There it is.
Out of Central Michigan University.
Okay.
Long range jump shot. Could drive to the rim. And when the Suns moved from the Veterans Memorial Coliseum across the way to America West Arena, they blossomed even more as a ball club. So my favorite athlete that I saw wear number 9 was Dan Majerle.
Awesome.
Yeah. And Dan Majerle was a fun fact about Dan Majerle. He was in a Celine Dion video back in the day.
Oh, which one?
Love Can Move Mountains, I think.
Oh,
okay.
All right, being real here.
All
when I was in
right.
middle school,
I
had a big crush on Celine Dion.
Hey, that's nothing to sneeze at.
I did take. I also took. I also took French in high school. In school too. So
Was that why you were hoping
No.
to woo Celine?
Well-
You know what?
no, but also yes.
Since we're talking about celebrity crushes, my beautiful wife kept
Oh, Mia Hamm.
asking me- my beautiful wife kept asking me who my celebrity crush was. And of course, I tried to tell her I didn't have one, but she wasn't buying
Lies.
Yeah.
it. She wasn't buying it. So my current celebrity crush is Mariska Hargitay from Law and Order SVU.
There you go.
All right.
But I must admit this aloud. Anybody who knows me or knows of me, I am a game show nerd. And I got to say that my first real celebrity crush was Janice Pennington.
From Price is Right.
Price is Right.
Okay. I thought you were gonna go with the Vanna White route, but hey,
Listen,
ha!
Vanna White was all right, but I saw Janice first.
Yeah.
I saw Janice first on a consistent basis.
Mm-hmm.
Understood.
Sometimes it's the first arrow that strikes, you know.
Yep. Elizabeth Shue, I'm looking at you. All right, Dustin.
All right.
You know what? I wanted to be Elizabeth Shue one day.
Hey, I remember she was on Cobra Kai. I'm like, dang.
Yes, she looks familiar, doesn't she?
Still got it, man. Still got it. Elizabeth Shue,
Yeah.
how you doing?
That's not-
Dustin, your favorite athlete to wear the number 9, sir.
Well, some of my picks have been chalk. A couple of them have been off board. I would say, Ryan, your list is more diverse than mine. But I was looking at number 9s. I'm going through my mental Rolodex. And then as I started to think about it, and I almost went with with a hockey pick for it, but hockey pick's going to be my next number. Spoilers. That might be when someone raised their eyebrows at me. But for this number 9, the more I started thinking about it, and the era with which I really started football has a huge impact on this. And also partially he has a cool nickname. I'm going with Steve McNair, number 9.
Aaron McNair.
And also
Aaron McNair.
And also Stuart Scott used to call him Mac 9, which I just thought was so cool.
Can't go wrong with that.
Steve McNair kind of crossed over 2 eras. He was drafted in 1995 for the Oilers. Didn't play too well, in his first couple of years when he was on the Oilers. But once the team switched to the Titans, that's when he really did start to take off. He shared a co-MVP in 2003 with Peyton Manning, which I have issues with, just aside, but McNair, he was just fun to watch. He was tough.
Mhm.
You knew if he could be out there, he was going to be out there. He could
Yeah.
obviously throw the ball a country mile, but he could move, and he did it in a different era. The Titans, those Titans teams that he was very good on, they were still the last vestiges of the late 90s, early 2000s, where a running back was still the cornerstone of the team. So if they did not rely on Eddie George the way that they did for a lot of that run, his
Right.
numbers could be even better than they are. But he was really one of those, he was one of the first like dual threat quarterbacks in an era that was still, there were others before him. Randall Cunningham, I'm looking at you. There were others, but he was one of the first like prominent ones in an era where there was still a lot of pocket passers. So
Mhm.
McNair just felt different when he played, and then he played all those years for the Titans. And Ryan, it ties in very nicely with an article that you put up on Belly Up, by the way, because McNair was intricately involved in one of the plays that you reference in your article. Shameless plug for my co-host. Go read it.
Yeah. Go check it out, folks.
But Air McNair does it for me, man. I just really enjoyed watching him play. And it was partially because I think that was the era, the late 90s, early 2000s is when my eyes finally opened to football and I really started to get into it. And Steve McNair, honestly, was a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. He was definitely one of those special talents. And unfortunately, we lost him a few years ago,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. But
Mhm.
yeah, but we have at least the football. We have those memories to rely on. And this is
Mhm.
great quarterback, great leader, finished his career with Baltimore.
Yep.
And was still doing this thing. Like even when he signed with
was
Baltimore,
good.
he was still a solid quarterback to watch.
Very much so.
Yeah, can do it all.
I must
arm on
have
his
a thing
legs.
for former Oilers quarterbacks. I picked Moon for number 1 and McNair for number 9. Huh?
But you can't go wrong with either one of those choices.
No, you can't.
No.
No, you can't.
You can't go wrong with either one of those choices.
No, absolutely not. So the athlete I chose for number 9, I went with Drew Brees. And
Solid
you know
pick.
what? Solid. Very solid.
Thank you. So he did not wear. So I remember watching. This is when I watched college football religiously. I don't watch as much as I used to anymore because, 2020 kind of soured me in regards to college
Understood.
football.
Understood.
I'm trying to get back into it. Trying to get Dustin into it. His Colorado Buffaloes, man.
Never.
They're
You know what? I would say something about the Colorado Buffaloes, but I'm afraid Dustin will throw darts at me forever if I do.
I joke around. That's a joke. That's a joke between the both of us. So I'm trying to get Dustin into college football, and I joke about the fact that Deion Sanders is coaching the Colorado Buffaloes, and every once in a while I just kind of make a little inside joke in regards to his team. But
Deion Sanders lost to Kansas.
Womp womp.
He lost twice to the state of Kansas.
Oof.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So this is back in an era where I paid a lot of attention to college football, and Drew Brees was one of the first quarterbacks to really just jump on my radar. I mean, Kerry Collins was one of them. I actually saw him play at a game at Penn State back in 1994. I saw them play in the season finale against Michigan State live at Beaver Stadium. One of my favorite experiences.
You were at Beaver Stadium?
I've been there twice.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was there for the 1994 team. I saw that 1994 team with Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter. Man, what a career he could have had. Kyle Brady. It was an incredible team that year.
But yeah, Kyle Brady wound up playing with the New York Jets. What's that tell you?
Listen, okay.
I'm just going to mute myself.
Wait a minute. But you can't blame me for bringing up a fact. He was selected by the New York Jets.
Before Warren Sapp.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
tells you the kind of management they had back in the day. But getting back to my story, Drew Brees. I remember when Purdue was an absolute dog's breakfast of a football team.
Yep.
Then Drew Brees showed up and
Joe
managed to
Tiller
do.
behind him.
I don't know. Let's see. Became the all-time leader in touchdown passes, second in passing yards. Yeah, I think Bob Greasy still owns the passing yards record at Purdue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he does.
So, but he stood out and got to buy the Chargers. Played there for a couple of years. Got his collarbone broken, and people wonder if he was ever going to play again. And he did. And he was a free agent because they had drafted. Well, the Chargers were stupid when they drafted Phil Rivers. They didn't need to.
The Chargers were absolutely stupid.
And Brees had a decision to make in the 2004. In 2004, I'm sorry, 2005. Excuse me, the 2005 free agency.
2005, he told San Diego, "Adios."
He told the Spanos family to stuff it.
Mm-hmm.
He was courted by the Miami Dolphins.
Yes,
but
Sean Payton came over the top with a Godfather offer.
The New Orleans Saints came out and say, "Hey, Drew, we're doing something special here. We're doing something special over here in New Orleans, and our city could really use a boost of encouragement after Hurricane Katrina came by. How would you like to come by and basically sign a lifetime contract with us?" And he did. He said he couldn't say no.
That, my friends,
and that is history.
Is that?
And he is one of the most prolific passing quarterbacks in NFL history. I believe he helped one of my fantasy teams win a fantasy football title.
For sure, he must have.
He's definitely been a cornerstone of many a fantasy football championship. One of them probably being mine. But I'll never forget the year that they won the Saints won the Super Bowl. And he was so overcome with joy, not just for himself, not just for his team, but the city of New Orleans himself. And when he came in, he definitely gave that city a boost of encouragement, a boost in a time where we weren't even sure if the Saints were going to exist anymore.
Yeah,
right. That's how badly Hurricane Katrina had absolutely devastated that city, including the Superdome.
And the Saints had nowhere to play.
No, they went out playing in Baton Rouge at the at Death Valley in the LSU Stadium.
Saints had nowhere to play. So while they were playing at Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge, and they finally got their act together, then the Superdome gets repaired.
Yep,
and the rest is history.
Yep, yep.
You didn't want to face Drew Brees in New Orleans.
No, nobody wanted to. But yeah, he made that Saints franchise shine for so many years, and he was the cornerstone of it. And he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's not only just a great guy on the field, but he's an awesome dude off the field too. And that's why I absolutely will be a Stan account for Drew Brees because that's he's just a great dude on and off the field, great football player, but even better human being. So that's why he's my favorite to wear number 9.
A great pick, Ryan. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for you on behalf of your Dolphins or your Jets fandom. Hey, Dolphins, I guess those shoulder concerns you had, they were unfounded, right? Because who did you bring in instead? Dante Culpepper. That's right. That didn't work out for you.
Dante Culpepper.
Dustin from the top row.
But also, who was coaching the Dolphins at that time?
Dustin flew in from the top rope and bam.
Yeah. Boom. But it was mostly because if memory serves, it was Nick Saban that was coaching the Dolphins at that time, was he?
Yeah, when they went 2-14, he said, "I'm out of here."
So there's my shot.
Alabama.
I'm hitting the road and I ain't coming back no more.
Yeah,
exactly. All right, we're gonna get out of here. Before we do, give Snowman an opportunity to plug some of his stuff. So, have at it.
Have mercy.
No,
just do me a favor and subscribe to me on YouTube at youtube.com/@snowmanmultimedia and My new channel, youtube.com/@snowmansportsnet. That's where I'm starting to feature all my play-by-plays now. Thanks.
There you go. All right.
Very cool.
And you can find No Credentials Required right here. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on YouTube. Follow us, give us a like, all that stuff. And also check out our other podcasts and written articles on bellyupsports.com. On the podcast side, subscribe to the podcast wherever you find podcasts. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Amazon Music, iHeart, TuneIn, Pandora, and don't forget to also hit that notification bell on Twitter and on YouTube. That way you know when new videos go up, when show announcements go up, all that jazz, all that social media stuff. Oh, Snowman took off early. But also on the podcast side, rate, review, comment, all that stuff. Tell a friend. Tell a friend about the show. You know, the best way to let people know about this podcast is to let people know by word of mouth. It's not just going to come from us. It's going to come from you, the listener, as well. All right, we're going to get out of here in this special Friday edition of No Credentials Required, where you don't need a press pass to talk sports. We are proudly presented by Belly Up Sports. For Snowman, for Dustin Henry, I'm Ryan McCarthy. We will talk to you again on Tuesday, 6:30 Eastern. What will we talk about? I don't know.
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise
for us and you.
Yes, but tune in Tuesday at 6:30. We'll be live and we'll be talking some sports. What sports? You have to find out for yourself. So,
and also favorite athletes to wear number 10.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We may even do another installment of the list. You don't know. But let's tune in to find out. Tuesday 6:30. We'll let you know what we're gonna stream. Until then, again, watch the replay Belly Up Sports on Belly Up Sports YouTube channel and on our Rumble station. You can also find the replay on Facebook, the video replay on Facebook and on Twitter. Thanks for joining us. And we'll talk to you next time. We'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Good night, everybody.